Hi everybody, welcome back to Endeavours for the 28th of January. It's Wednesday, so as always there'll be timecodes below if you'd just like to jump ahead to whichever endeavour that you're looking for. This set here, it's pretty good. Everything's honestly great. The only one I'd say is just debatable is going to be this one, because if you want to get your event tickets for the event, it's good to do, and there's also a way to get skeletons at the same time pretty easily. But if you're not interested in your tickets, you can honestly just skip these two and just do these three instead, because these are all really, really easy. But yeah, honestly, everything here, I really cannot, I cannot argue that these are not good options. Like, they're all good. So what I'm going to do is just cover this one here first, because if you do want to do this one, you will, if you want to get your event tickets today, you will likely get this one done automatically when you do the daily quest for Imperial City to get that one ticket for that style, that type. Now, I have gone into pretty extensive details on my other videos for the Golden Pursuit Part 2 and the PvE approach video. I went through what I would do to get these. Even if you have no idea about PvP, you don't need any PvP capabilities to be able to do these ones easily. You just need to do a couple of the, like, one of the quests in the districts. And yeah, I went into heaps of detail with those videos, so just watch those if you need. But if you're just worried about the Tel Vars themselves, you do these quests. When you do, they give you you get like a Siege Master's coffer for these Imperial City ones. And when you get the Siege Master's coffers, they have a Tel Var satchel in them. And these Tel Var satchels give you Tel Var. And it will give you enough Tel Var to immediately complete this daily here as soon as you loot it. I think normally it's 200 Tel Var, but with this event I believe it gives you 400 because it's double. With the PvP event, all Tel Var is doubled. So I think I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while. But yeah, that's the way you can easily get some. However, if you also end up getting the boomboxes, which you'll get from doing the Cyrodiil and the Imperial City quest to get the event tickets, so you'll likely have these in your inventory. These will have Tel Var stones in them, which also work for the case of this endeavor here too. So if you've got a bunch of those lying around, you'll probably have quite a few if you haven't opened them and you've just been doing the quest for the tickets. You can just basically cheese this one through that method as well without even stepping foot in Imperial City. Now, when it comes to the skeletons, if you go to the sorry, I have to remember which one it is, the Memorial District here, this quest and this zone will likely have you interacting with skeletons at some point. Now, if I just come up here and just walk a little bit, you can see a skeleton there, you can see some skeletons there. So this area here, the Memorial District, has shit tons of them. So it's this district here. And when you end up doing this quest to get your event ticket and your Siege Master's coffer to be able to get the Tel Var one done quickly, this quest, you have to kill some Zivkin. And after you kill the 2 Zivkin, which... Oh, there's a patrolling horror. There's Zivkin... There's one down there that spawns. And there's also one over there. And I think there's usually one that spawns here. There's usually one that spawns over there. I think it will depend on the alliance that you come here with. But there'll be lots of Zivkin there, and then there's also... yeah, so the second part of the quest after you kill the Zivkin, you'll have to interact with some stuff over here. I think with some of these skeletons. And when you do, you will end up completing the quest itself doing that as you kill the skeletons. So you'll probably get both of these done at once if you follow that method. Just be aware, if you're not familiar with Imperial City, this place is a PvP Wild West, essentially. There's some really badass players here that will kill you very quickly if you run through this place. But the only issue with that is when you die, you lose the Tel Var that you get. So you just have to make sure, if you go down there, if you've got a lot of Tel Var on you, just make sure you deposit it in the banks, in the safe areas as soon as you get in here. As long as you do that, you're fine. So yeah, I just wanted to go through the Tel Var option there, because if you aren't going to do your renting it, wow, that's a long loading screen. You just want to do the other options. I think they're easy anyway. So alongside the skeletons and the Tel Var stones option, you can also do the deconstructing at a woodworking table one really easily in Imperial City too. So you can actually get everything done in just Imperial City today. So the plan with this is, you could just craft a bunch of your own bows with your own materials, but my opinion for this is why use your own shit when you can just borrow some, quote unquote. So the Imperial City has a shit ton of items that spawn that you can deconstruct that count as woodworking items. Any shields, staves, and bows that you can find in this place, you can just go and deconstruct. And it's also got its own woodworking station in another room. So the safe area will look a bit different depending on the alliance, but the idea is still the same. You find plenty of stuff, like, as an example, these bows on this wall here. I'll just grab a bunch of these. In this room, you've got a shield over here. That one apparently doesn't exist. Crafting area. But if you come into this room, you've got bows on this weapon rack here. And then you've also got a couple of staves on this one. So you could get this one done just with the just with all that stuff. And once you've got enough stuff, just go to the woodworking station found in this room. It'll always be in the one with this like leather tanning rack on. Just go to the woodworking station and select all the items you found and deconstruct them. And you'll get the endeavor done very quickly that way. If there's not enough items in the place that you've been like just you found like 7 or 6 or whatever, or however many you end up finding, if you leave the zone, or if you just go through this door here, you'll always find this exit door. It's got this like sewer tunnel, and it's got like the grate in the way. You just go through this exit here, and then if you queue back into Imperial City through this menu, you'll everything will reset. So there'll probably be more stuff for you to loot that you know is in here. But I guarantee you, there will usually be 8 items at least that you can find in here. Sometimes some of the items despawn, but like I can almost guarantee you that there will be 8 items that you can deconstruct in all cases. If not, let me show you an alternative area that you can check, which usually has some woodworking items. The only difference between this alternative area is that it doesn't have a woodworking station to deconstruct with. But that's not a big deal, right? You just go to it like a town or like a trial. So Whitecourt Tower here. You don't have to do any fighting. You can just rock up in here on a level 3 and just do it instead with that. So in here, as soon as you walk in, there'll be a shield on the floor and a shield over here as well. When you walk into this room, just look at all the skeletons on the floor. They will usually have a shield on them. So you can see them shields there, there's one there. Usually there's a shield on this weapon rack as well. There's a shield there. Come into this room, there'll be another shield here. Dietrich Ember's Trophy Vault. In here you'll find a bow over here. You'll find some more shields and yeah, some more stuff in here. Once you've got all that stuff, you just have to leave and you have to find yourself a crafting station. Now, if I were doing this on like a new character, what I would do instead is leave this area. Wherever you end up at the Way Shrine, just go to a trial. There's a base game one called Halls of Fabrication in Vardenfell, because these actually have crafting stations in them. And when you leave, it just takes you back to the Way Shrine too. So if you're in an area where the crafting station's right next door, probably don't bother with this. But say if you're in like Vocal Guard at that Way Shrine, it takes it's a bit of a trek getting to that woodworking station. So you can just skip this just by going over here to this one and just deconstructing them here. So yeah, that's what I mean. And then once you've done it there, you just head to this spot here. It will jimmy a bit, but you just leave through here and it will take you back to the Way Shrine. So that's 2 easy ways to deconstruct a bunch of shit without having to procure it yourself using some of your own materials. But obviously you can just do that if you don't want to bother with that shit. So yeah, definitely recommend doing that one today. Now, next up, I'll do laundering. The only place I usually do this with is Gem and Flask in Craglawn, in Velkarth, because it has a way shrine right here, and the Outlaws Refuge is right next door, because you have to go to the Outlaws Refuges to launder stuff. So all you gotta do is head inside, go upstairs, and there'll be a bunch of items you can steal right here. There's nobody up here, so you don't have to worry about stealth or anything. So just grab 8 items in total here. Fish, rabbit, over here, tomato crate. So yeah, you'll get usually more than 8 items just from that. If that's not enough, you've also got some stuff over here that you can grab, some millet sacks and green baskets. Out here you've also got... I missed a steak on that thing as well, so that would have been red meat. But yeah, you've got some barrels out here. Usually you will not get a bounty taking this stuff, even if you're not in stealth. This stuff down here, I'm not sure. There is a person who walks by, but looting this stuff, I've never really received a bounty by doing that, so yeah, I don't know. There is a guard here though, so you probably don't, not worth risking it. But yeah, the Outlaw's Refuge is right here. That's the main reason I use this place, because everything is like right next to each other. So when you get in here, you just come down here, and then there'll be a gap in the fence over here. That's usually where I go. Just jump down here, down through the waterfall, and there's another fence over here called Rachinia. So this is where you go. Just make sure you hit this button here, the Launder tab, and then launder as many items as you need. And you're done. Spellcast Waystone is not unlocked naturally. You need to go to Craglorn for this to pop up. If you want to do that, you can either just get someone to port over here and just travel to them, or you can use home tours using some of these houses here to enter Craglorn for the first time. If you don't know how home tours works, just check the description. I've got a video there that explains how it all works. It's basically like you travel to someone else's house of that type, and when you leave, it always takes you to the zone it's in. So yeah, it's really useful using that stuff. It's like having a bunch of wayshines unlocked as soon as you start the game, but they don't cost you anything to travel to. So yeah, really helpful for the long run. But before you go, just know that there's a merchant in here. So if you want to sell the stuff that you just laundered, if you don't want to hold on to it, you can just sell it here. Because yeah, whatever it costs you to sell an item, you spend that to launder it. So if you just sell the items, it just means that you don't lose any gold in the long run there. Okay, so now we are looking at skeletons. My go-to for this one is to go to Banish Souls 1 on normal. As soon as you enter, you basically just turn a corner, and there's going to be 5 skeletons right there. It is a bit of a pain getting here for the first time, though. But as soon as you unlock it, you can just travel to this place from Wayfinder. So look at that, they're right here. Just kill them all, and that's the endeavor done straight away. Now, if you want to get in here, if you've never been before, so if you've queued into this place in the past through Dungeon Finder, or if you've just been here before somehow, it'll be unlocked. So you can just travel here from a wayshrine. If you don't have this on the map yet, though, just use home tours. Again, this thing is very helpful. Barbed Hook Private Inn Room, this is probably the closest thing. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a trek, but you want to come up here for the wayshrine for the dolmens anyway, usually. So yeah, just start from Barbed Hook, come through Skywatch here, go up here through Dawnbreak, come over around here, you got this road, and then Banish Souls is right here. And yeah, just make sure you get this wayshrine too while you're there. Because yeah, these dolmens are pretty helpful to have. And that's it. And when you leave through the door, it'll take you back to the wayshrine you came in from. So it's also convenient once you're done, because you can just continue on what you were doing before more conveniently. So just running through now, a couple more overland options for skeletons. Probably one of my favorites is Athrenis over here in Stonefalls. There are lots of skeletons. There's also the Nixhound things in here, but mostly skeletons. So getting here, you just take the Devonswatch Wayshrine, which you start with as soon as you begin the game, as soon as you create a character. Just head southwest through Sini. It's also good to get this because Sini is usually the place I go for insects and arachnids. Just come down here, go south, and there's lots of skeletons in Athrenis. If you have done the quests in, or if you've at least started the quest in Stonefalls and Davon's Watch, over here, the ancestral tomb of, God, I keep forgetting their name. House Induril. That's right. Yeah, so it's the Induril burial crypt, and that's got skeletons in it too. But to access that, you need to have started the quest, which you can start over here somewhere. It's really easy. So there's 2. There's also in Kanathi's Roost. If you haven't done this quest yet, Temple of the Morning Springs has skeletons around the place. You've also got in Bleakrock Isle, which might be familiar if you've done all the fishing stuff we usually do. This area here, Skyshot Barrow, has a lot of skeletons as well. There's a lot of other places, I'm sure, but these are just some easy ones to reach. Especially this one, because yeah, you've got a wayshrine here that you can just use to get over here. So let's look at the last option here, which is Gallery Furnishings. So you can do this. Okay, so if you've completed a dungeon, doesn't matter which one, this one will be very easy. If not, as long as you're level 10, this also should be very, very easy. You just need like a teeny bit of alliance points. to make it easy. But if you don't have that, honestly, just do these 3 options instead. It's fine. There's a lot of options here for it. Yeah, gallery furnishing is also very easy. So what you need first is a house. If you haven't got one yet, just come to this NPC here, found in Vocal Guard in Oridon. This way shine is unlocked as soon as you start the game, so it's very easy to reach. Where this house is located here, you'll see this woman here. Just talk to her for a bit. You'll complete a quest, you'll get some gold, and then you complete a you get a house here that shows up if you don't have it yet. The houses you get, there's 3 of them. So if you go into map, into houses here, they'll show up here. So you'll either have this one, or this one. And you'll have all 3 if you've done the quest on different alliances. So if you left click on them, it shows you where they are on the map, and then you left click on them again and travel inside to reach your house. But first, I'll just go through the 2 options for getting yourself a gallery furnishing. So firstly, go into Furnishings in your collections section, just U key on default on keyboard. Go to Undaunted Trophies. Any quest that, any dungeon that you've completed, even if you haven't completed the quest, you'll get a trophy here. So as an example, if you've done the dungeon option for the Gone Pursuit here, if you've done this, it's an indicator that you'll be able to do this one very easily. I did go through that in the Gone Pursuit if you want to watch how a dungeon works. It's also, that will only take like 5 or 10 minutes, and you'll only have to do it once, and then this option here is really easy for the rest of time. So Craig the Dread King, really easy dungeon to do, only takes like 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, if you've got anything here, it's fine. Same thing with Undaunted Bus. If you've done anything on Veteran, you'll also have something here too. I swear I've done City of Ash 2 already on Vet. Anyway, whatever. So, yeah, that's one option. The other one is to go to one of the campaigns in Cyrodiil. This is where you need to be level 10. So, yeah, I assume most people have a character above level 10 though. So just go to any campaign. It doesn't really matter which one you do that much, but preferably go something where your faction is... if you don't have any AP for this, you want to do the tutorial maybe. But yeah, it's not super important. So when you get into Cyrodiil, there will always be 2 gates for your faction. So for example here in Ordinary Dominion, we've got 2. So I'm at the wrong one. There'll be a tavern icon on the map for one of the gates here. So this one here, for example, it's this mug icon. There'll always be an achievement furnisher. That's who you're looking for. So just got to go over here to the Victory Tavern and just talk to this guy. But over here he is here, Athragor. What you're looking for is this thing here, this Dominion Pennant. Costs you 200 alliance points, but this is a gallery furnishing as well. So I've got a little bit here. You can do this in 2 ways to get enough alliance points really easy. One is to go to one of the heaps that your faction owns and just repair some of the walls. All you need to do is have some repair kits. So here, these things here, it costs 90 gold each from the siege vendors, very easy to use. Each one gives you like 50, so you won't need that much, I think. The other way is to complete the tutorial for Cyrodiil, which basically you hang around in these areas here. There's no PvP involved, it just teaches you how siege weapons work and just some of the basic mechanics of Cyrodiil. Now, you do have to run around this area here, which, if these gates are open, these areas can be accessed by enemy players, but the odds of them coming out to just attack you specifically for the tutorial is like... It's so insignificantly small. So I wouldn't worry about that. But if you're really concerned, just go to a campaign where these gates are closed, in which case these keys just have to be controlled, that's all. But yeah, this tutorial for Cyrodiil takes like literally 5 minutes usually, so it shouldn't take long. You find them at one of the gates, there'll be an NPC that has a quest, and you just accept it from them. You can go over to the commander and skip the quest and get a bunch of AP that way, if you really want to be quick. But I still suggest doing the whole thing because you get enough alliance points to unlock this, which gives you Gallop, which is one of the most useful passives in this fucking game, I swear. Yeah, pretty easy from that point. So once you've done that, now we just head out of Cyrodiil using the way shrine, and then you can just head straight to your house. So in this case, I'll just use one of the houses we get for Villain Demery. So I'll just go Emily Flask. Because yeah, if you've done the dungeon, you don't even need to have it in inventory. It's just part of your collections. So yeah. Yeah, so here we are. So what you do is you go to Housing Editor, bottom right there, go to Browse. In this section here, you'll see a gallery. So these are where the dungeon trophies are. Just go Place, is chucked on the wall, and then on the bottom left, use Undo and Redo to place it back on the wall again very quickly. Because if you just pick it up and spam left click like this, it doesn't actually do anything. It has to go into your inventory or back in collections first. And to speed up that process, you just use Undo Redo because it does the same thing, just quicker. So yeah, a lot of easy options today. That's everything for this daily set. So if you have any questions, you know the drill. Just give me a holler. Yeah, pretty good set. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care for now. We'll see you next time. Appreciate your support as always.